Hey champions, it is Saturday. Welcome. JLAR Second Edition came out yesterday. I hope you had the opportunity to get your hands on some product, open it up, build a few decks, hopefully play a few games, and just enjoy it for what it is. I had the opportunity to be at Heads or Tails yesterday. I have some photos, but I didn't ask everyone there if I could use their photos, so I don't have their permission, so I'm not going to. But it was really, really cool seeing everyone play and seeing the drafting second edition. Oh my goodness, there's so many decisions. I'm like, oh, that's rough. Like, what was it in Stevo's first pack? There was a meteorite and a gilded stag, and he struggled with it because he loves Gilded Stag. It's one of his favorite summons, but Meteorite is just so universally powerful. So just seeing the different changes and then seeing one person who was originally getting a lot of great Ajna cards and was planning to play Erica and then switch over to playing Idris because all of a sudden all these amazing Chaos cards started coming their way and they could leverage the Thymos cards that they had pulled earlier. So there was a lot of cool concepts coming out. The packs with the epics were really, really interesting because it's 3 people now who are picking up a rare from that one pack. I'm really excited to do a draft one day. My nervousness really just comes down to COVID, and if there's an option to not play right now, I'm actually gonna be doing that because, as I tell you, be safe. That is first and foremost one of the most important things. Don't put yourself at risk in any way just to play a game. So if you're not feeling 100% comfortable, don't do it. But tomorrow I'm going to be participating in Sealed. That's a little bit more comfortable for me because we're not passing the packs around. You're giving your 6 packs, you open them up, and you just go from there. So I'm curious to see what will happen there. I'm curious to see who gets that foil from that box. And on top of that, today is Alex Miller's birthday. So happy birthday, Alex. And it's... So tomorrow we're going to be celebrating that. I think it's going to be a really, really fun event. I heard that it's going to have quite a few participants in it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hopeful. I'm excited. And I think that's everything. Oh, last night, around midnight or so, Ben Trading Cards was just sitting and organizing some cards. So I decided to do a live stream, and it was so much fun. I know I talk a lot about his content, but it's just, he has a personality that I really, really enjoy. So Ben never stopped making content because I'd be sad. You don't always have to talk about Genesis. I'm gonna watch your other stuff, but just keep making content. That's more or less everything I have to say. What we're gonna be doing next is I'm gonna be switching over to a video done by the Scheming Skeleton. It was an interview between Jordan and George, talking about MetaZoo, Flesh and Blood, Genesis, the current market, and a bunch of other things. I implore you to go watch the full video. There's a lot in there that I think is really, really interesting, especially about the current space in the market, and their perspective on the other games. But also, it's very time consuming. It's an hour-long interview. Even my edits that I'm going to be putting up are going to add a good chunk of time to this video. So if you don't have time to go watch it, that's okay. But try to find some time to at least maybe watch it at 2 times speed. That's what I've done. So I'm going to be throwing in my... How do I do this? It's more or less me being like a third person in the interview. I'm just kind of chiming in at random times and talking about things. But I'll be adding that in now. But it was great talking to you. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow. And I hope to see you at Dragon World. If not, just message me. I'd love to chat with you about Genesis. Alright, that's all for now. Take care. Bye. Hey champions, I'm actually recording this part of the video first, and then I'll be doing the rest of the vlog afterwards. I don't know what I'm talking about in there yet, so I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna be going through this video that the Scheming Skeleton has done. If you want to skip this part, that's fine. I do recommend you go listen to this interview. It was absolutely amazing. I jumped into it thinking that it was going to be a complete talk about MetaZoo. I did not expect any conversation about Genesis in there, but they did a decent amount of talking about Genesis. I'm going to cut out the sections that are a little less relevant so that we can get through this faster because it's an hour-long video and I'm not going to go through all of it, but they do focus on particular parts of Genesis, and I just kind of want to get my thoughts out. I think it's a great video, and Jordan and George, who are talking here, absolutely amazing people, and I have particular thoughts about it, and so we'll just get into this. I do have it at 1.5 speed. That's what I'm used to. If it's too fast, go watch the full video. I don't think you shouldn't be getting the full thing from me anyways.
Thanks for coming back to the channel, with the new name. Actually, same channel with the new name, yeah. A lot of these people who were really into Fab in the beginning had faith in it and were like, this is great, this game's awesome, it's going to succeed, artwork's incredible, gameplay's incredible.
Yeah.
And the minute anyone were to say anything bad about Fab, they got super defensive, and they were like, you got to give the game a chance. You got to give this a chance. You don't understand. You got to look into this. You got to look into that. And I'm seeing the same type of thing happen with Genesis. I'm seeing the same type of thing happen with MetaZoo. And it's like all those people that had that negativity that came from Magic or other games are now doing that with these two games. And to me, that is like, I mean, par for the friggin' course of how these things go. Like, I don't understand that attitude.
So it's funny because I think that they've been a lot more receptive of Genesis than MetaZoo.
Yeah, they have been for sure.
So that's kind of cool to hear. I didn't know that. I'm really happy about that. But if one day, inshallah, God willing, Genesis gets really large and the Genesis community is out there and a new game comes to the scene and you see yourself, you see other people playing it and it doesn't seem right for you, don't be negative about it. Let people enjoy their games. If it's not for you, it's not for you. That's okay. My dad has a philosophy about food. He will try everything that's put in front of him at least once, unless it's pork. We can't eat pork. But everything else he'll try at least once, and then he'll form his own opinion. If he doesn't like it, that's fine. He'll just not eat it. But he's not going to put anyone down for anything. So that's the philosophy I want you to have moving forward always. And if you see someone playing a different game, if you don't like it, that's fine. But let them enjoy their game. Come on, people. It's just a game.
You know, I think part of it is I think people are sleeping on Genesis. And I think Assad's plan is to have people sleep on Genesis. And I do, listen, like, Galera 2 is going to sell out in about 15 seconds.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like, the question I have for him is, does he have the capital to do the print run he needs?
Sure.
So, yes, we do want people to sleep on Genesis a little bit. There's very, very strong reasons behind this. As a business, we are much smaller than some of our competitors, and the only way we can get there appropriately is if we spend time refining our skill sets. It's like when you go to the gym, you don't start off instantly, at the top tier with all your equipment. That was a bad example. But let's say running, for example, that's something I'm a little bit more keen on, or swimming. When I started swimming, I wanted to get to a point where I could do 10 laps and within 30 minutes. I know it's not super impressive, but when I started swimming, I literally did not know how to swim 3 years ago. And every single day, tried a little bit more, a little bit more, and a little bit more. And now I can do that comfortably. I'm hitting my target to where I want to be. But you have to work up to that momentum. And that's what we're trying to do. That's why we have the slow play with our game. The fact that they're talking about J2 selling out really quickly, we're feeling that. And this is the this is the second day after J2 has launched, and we're hearing a lot of stores are already sold out of their inventory. And that's awesome. I'm happy to hear our partner stores making revenue from Genesis. It's been a long time coming, and I'm really, really happy that they're at that point. But it's true, it does come with its own issues, and I'll tell you, I am spending a lot of time thinking about that.
We're going to probably send this thing out to 30 states, 35 states. If half those stores that they game at now want to pick up the game, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 boxes isn't going to get you very far.
That's going to be the choke point where we're going to see, this bottleneck of everyone wanting to get it, only so much available, and it'll be a true test to what happens within Haunted Castle Gaming once that happens, once it's at that point. Before we let's pivot over to two things real quick. Before you give your MegaCon story, Genesis comes out tomorrow, the 20th. Going to be huge for everyone, I think. I've seen so many people in the Canadian Discord that know that the game is Canadian, and we're like, what the hell is this game? And I'm sitting here in America telling people about a game that's right at their back door. So
yeah, the whole they're promoting to Canadians, it's an interesting topic, and it's something we thought a lot about in early design. I'm proud that we made this game in Canada and that it's printed in Canada and that our home base is here in Southern Ontario. We've done a lot to grow that. But we didn't want that to be a selling feature about the game. We don't want people, like, how do I put this? I appreciate everyone's support, and whatever your reasons are to support us, I love it. But don't buy this game just because you're Canadian. Buy it because you love the game and because you're Canadian. And we did not push the Canadian marketing because I felt that that would niche us too much and it wouldn't help us grow. I wanted to make sure that people who love the game, they love the game first. And if they support us because we're a Canadian company and they want to support Canadian stuff, that's awesome. And, you know, I love it too. But at the end of the day, we want you playing the game. Play the game.
So, yeah, I'm actually very worried about tomorrow. I'll be honest with you.
Explain.
I have a very big feeling this is going to sell out very quickly everywhere.
So it is currently the day after their tomorrow. So it's the 21st. They were filming this on the 19th. So it turns out a couple of stores have completely sold out of inventory a lot faster than they expected. Inventory that they expected to last a few weeks, because that's how the old sets were, only lasted one night. Way to go, George. Way to go.
And that is, like, listen, like, that's just not Assad's vision, frankly.
Yeah.
And I tried to prepare him for this. That the game is good. Like, the game is very good. Good games with limited supply tend to both sell out fast and go up in price. And he does not like that latter part at all.
Sure.
At all.
But I have also done my job of telling people, a lot of the people who are interested in Jalara that we've talked to in Discord and that have watched my channel, not like I have thousands of people watching, but the people I've spoke with, I've made it very clear to them that J2 is not something, even the other Genesis is not something you need to invest in, but you can. Shit, I sold a box for $500. I paid $90 for it. I mean, I had a few extra boxes laying around. I'm like, let's see what I can do. And I sold them. But J2 is not.
All right. Talking about that, Jordan, go for it. You did it. That's great, and I'm happy that more people are playing Genesis. But George was right. It's not something that I'm keen on. I'm not a huge fan of the idea that the older boxes are so much, but I also understand it too. This goes back to another story. So if you don't know Steve-O is the hands down probably the biggest Genesis fan. He has tattoos of all the affiliations on his hand. I won't even go that far. So he is a huge Genesis fan. And when I was talking to him about this, and he also was disturbed by the fact that beta boxes were selling for 600 or other sets selling for 500, and he didn't understand it, and he didn't like it, and he didn't like the secondary market going up. And I talked to him and I told him, you're a huge Genesis fan. Imagine if you got into the game right now, how much would you pay for a box of beta? And from that perspective, it made sense. But at the end of the day, like, we put Beta, J, and Rays out of print, not because they were really good products that we wanted to make collectible. We put them out of print because they were not the best product, and J2 is a better product. So don't buy Beta, J, and Rays thinking that you're going to make a better deck because you own these products. No, buy J2. Play with the cards in J2, because that set has the cards you're looking for, and it's easier to get them. Like, I saw a draft yesterday, and there were 3 or 4 Cabusses in that draft. One person drafted 2 Cabusses. Try doing that with a Welcome to Jalara box. You're not going to be able to do that. So if you're going to buy these old boxes for a higher price, my perspective, do it because you want to have a piece of Genesis history. Because I understand that. I do. But don't do it because you think it's going to give you the better cards. Because it won't.
I
It's going
think
to be an investment product. People need to know that. It's to play the game. And I think, like, you're right, though. People are still going to do that.
Well, I have a feeling that product will last about a week to 2 weeks. And, like, it's not a company. He's not going to strong arm his way into more printing time.
Yeah.
He'll get in line for printing time.
Yeah.
But, like, he's in line for printing time.
Sure.
I have
I'm not going to say.
a very weird feeling that this is going to turn a little bit weird, because I think the boxes are just going to go bananas in about 2 weeks to a month.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but some of the printers are like 6 to 9 months out. So you got to
All
order
of
your
the printers
paper
are like 9 months out.
Yeah, you got to order your paper 6 months in advance and be ready to roll when they're ready to accept you. And I don't think a lot of people know that.
No, and I I'll be upfront about this. I bought about a quarter of the print run. Maybe a little bit more than a quarter of the print run.
Damn.
Well,
So you
listen,
got 4 boxes for me at least.
I got you. I got you and him. But I think people are not understanding how limited this is.
Yeah.
And also, like, there will be a difference between first and second printing because they're going to fix some of the typos and things like that.
All the
So if
problems
there
I
ever is
pointed
a
out in my
first card,
video.
it will be in first printing.
Yeah.
It's actually a funny thing we've been talking about behind the scenes, but like part of the reason beta is one of my favorite print runs because there was no writters in beta. There were no mistakes. And it was because alpha has all those issues. So we made this joke of like, should every set have 2 print runs? The first where we put it out there and then all these people will message us with all these issues, and then we do a larger print run where we fix those issues. And that way the better product is the large print run and not the small print run. And we joked about it, but that's gonna happen with J2. It's gonna be a thing.
I have a feeling he's going to be caught off guard by just how successful this game is in the next 3 weeks. That's just my gut. I have no idea. I might be sitting on a trillion boxes that I can never sell.
I think we're going to hit that choke point, that bottleneck that I spoke about earlier, that we're going to get to the point where so many people want it. There's just not going to be enough right in the beginning.
Yeah, so Louis and I are announcing our bundle, I think, on Tuesday of next week. And it's going to start off with just Louis' patrons and those in Wall Street.
Nice.
My patrons, even though they don't pay me anything. I'll tell you this: all of Louis' patrons pay him. That's all I'll tell you. But I told him I have to throw it out for Wall Street. I got to stick to my home base. And I have a very weird feeling we're going to sell out.
I think so too.
And that's really good and really scary because I'll leave it at this. I think that these.
So I have an idea of what he's thinking, and yeah, it's weird. So I appreciate so much their confidence that they have in the game, in me, and in the company, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Alex Miller has been doing an amazing job bringing that game, bringing Genesis to a point where it's that balance between what we've really, really loved in the earlier sets, but still pushing the boundaries to make the game much more complex, have more depth, and have more vitality to it with very, very few or very little like chaff cards in it. It's great to have their confidence behind everything we do, but it, like I said earlier, there is downsides to growing too quickly, and we are trying to find a balance between that. I love having this partnership with Compete Sports, and we'll be talking about it much more next week. But until then, know that whatever you do, there's pros and cons to everything, and you just need to make sure that you can capitalize off of those pros and mitigate those cons as much as possible.
Boxes. I think when Monarch fell apart, it was because we all took it as a collectible. Collectibles that are meant to be collectible tend not to do well.
Yep.
This was not intended to be collectible.
Yeah.
Like, Assad desperately, I think, does want this to be collectible.
And I have not seen the shit talk about Genesis that I've seen about MetaZoo and about Fat. I have barely seen any of the negativity with Genesis.
I mean, like, it's a great game, right? And it's also, like, I would argue it's the least controversial game now that I think about it.
Yep.
It doesn't, because, like, it's complex.
One person
right?
in Discord, I shut them up immediately.
I'll let you go watch that story. And I think that's where I kind of want to wrap this up. Go watch the rest of this video. It was amazing. And Jordan, for all his support, he's been so good to us and the community. And George, I really, really look forward to working with him closer in the future. But yeah, like, it's nice to hear that there's a lot of controversy behind the game, that people are understanding it and supporting it. But we got to make sure we pay that forward, wherever we're at. If people are playing games you're not interested in, then don't say anything negative about it. If they're playing something you haven't tried yet, consider giving it a go. Try a few games of it. If you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. That's fine. But make sure you're not offending people because they play a different game. And I actually look in the past and you'll see that I've made comments about people who play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I feel really bad about that. And now I turn that around. And there's actually things about Yu-Gi-Oh! That I really, really love. And I think if it's a game that makes you happy, that you're enjoying it, you're learning from it, you're growing as an individual, then don't stop gaming. Just don't. So that's where we're at with this video. Thank you so much to George and Jordan. And thank you especially to Jordan for letting me use some clips of his video inside this vlog. and thank you for watching.